the scene suddenly changes. We see terrifying feet, not human feet, but those of a beast, a wolf with lion-like features. Its power is extremely dangerous. These wolves have surrounded our Loki. But Loki isn't afraid of them at all. Once they jump and attack him, the first wolf lunges forward. As it reaches Loki, he performs a very small stab, a move he calls a cell stab. With Loki's small stab, the wolf's body splits into two pieces. Loki then turns and sees an even more dangerous, huge wolf behind him. Not with one head, but 5 lion heads, a passing wolf whose power is devastating. Everyone watching knows that a normal stab won't be enough. It requires more force. Loki says that and delivers a stab attack. We see it's a normal stab, but it completely rips the 5-headed wolf apart. In one strike, Loki kills this massive creature. Loki looks at the lion heads and then pulls them off. Holding all 5 heads of that wolf, Loki says this monster is really weak. Or maybe all the monsters here are weak. As Loki says this, a voice from the side shouts, "Human, what have you done? How dare you?" We see strange alien-like creatures, furious at Loki. One of the alien monsters yells that the lion head of the passing wolf is precious, and they demand it back quietly. Loki replies that even after activating his skill, he can't fully understand their language. He only understands a little. He realizes they're asking for the wolf's lion head. "What's the matter? Do you want these lion heads? Fine. Make a deal with me. I'll give them to you if you tell me where we are." Before Loki can finish, the alien creature attacks him. This creature is extremely fast, but Loki easily dodges and warns, "If you attack me again, you'll all be killed by my hands." Still, the alien attacks again. This time Loki gets serious. He draws his sword, deflects the attack, and screams from everyone around a herd. The next scene shows Loki slaying most of those weird creatures, though one remains alive, badly wounded. Loki asks it who this place is. The alien snarls that how dare a low-level creature like Loki speak to them like that. Listening, Loki grabs the alien's antenna-like thing and pulls it, making the alien scream loudly. Loki demands answers, torturing it for information. The alien, enraged, vows to kill Loki and suddenly bites off its own tongue. Blood gushes out and it kills itself. Loki watches and says, "What a strange person. Why would they do that? What do they gain?" Loki then rips out the alien's antenna and thinks about what to do with it. He buries it in the ground, like a ritual, similar to lighting a candle or incense for the dead in Korea or Japan. While doing this, he inspects the alien's belongings, thinking, "Maybe I can use something from these." He finds a strange, small pouch, a small-dimension backpack. Loki says, "Great, an inventory. Since I left that tower, I haven't been able to access the system, so this inventory will help." Mukama had told him that he could use the system later, but for now, he still can't. Even so, with his suspicion skill, he can read item information. He notices odd stones nearby and realizes they're called stones of flesh and soul. These stones can raise the mana of apted players to some degree. That won't help Loki because he's not an apted player. He's an Evoken player, which is very rare. Looking at the stones' different colors, he thinks maybe they'll be useful later, so he keeps them in his inventory. Loki looks at the remaining weapons and thinks he won't have space for them all, when suddenly one of his weapons, the one he got after killing the dragon on the 99th floor, starts to vibrate violently. He takes it out to see what's happening, and it transforms. A mouth forms on the weapon, and it starts biting the other weapons that belong to those alien creatures. We hear chewing sounds. Loki watches, thinking, "I'd never have believed this if I hadn't seen it." Then his eye falls on a paper. He picks it up and opens it. It's a strange map showing large mounds and a huge tree, possibly the Tree of Illusion. It's labeled Tree of Illusion, Chaos, meaning this place is inside chaos and that huge tree is there. Loki remembers that the file Dam sent him had no information about this. He moves on. Now we cut to a dense forest. There we see a lion-headed wolf, furious, and some people running away. We follow a cute girl running with 2 or 3 others. She smiles, tosses a small weapon from her hand, and it flies into someone's leg. The man screams in pain. The girl apologizes, saying it slipped from her hand by accident. The man says, "It's okay. You'll stay completely behind us." He starts scolding her and calling her useless. He says if she weren't cute, he would have killed her by now. Suddenly they hear a sound and everyone turns. 2 lion-headed wolves have appeared. A 2-headed lion wolf is stalking the girl. The girl runs like crazy toward the others, and they order her to run away. From a high vantage point, we see our hero Loki looking down. He notes that among all these people, the girl seems the strongest. He wonders why she's acting recklessly, as if everyone will die because of her. He thinks these people must have come here the same way he did, by clearing a tower. But then he realizes that's not necessarily true. Down below, a man who earlier was injured releases his power and says he's going to use a special breath attack. The girl says, "Okay, I'll help you," and throws a dagger that slices between the man's ears, cutting his ears. The man scolds her, but suddenly the 2-headed wolf reaches him and nearly kills him. On a nearby hill, Loki disappears with a leap, and then we see someone jump onto the 2-headed wolf and kill it instantly. The beast's blood splashes everywhere, coating the man's face. The person standing above the wolf has a gleaming sword and looks very cool. It's none other than our hero Loki, who had leapt and slain the 2-headed wolf in one jump. Everyone sees Loki and asks, "Who are you?" The scene changes again. The people ask if Loki is sure, and whether they can take the carcass. Loki says he has no problem with that. The girl keeps staring at Loki, puzzled how such a valuable lion head could be so easily given away. The others say the wolf is extremely valuable. Killing a two-headed wolf usually needs 10 people, and its heads sell for a high price. Loki thinks, I get it. The more heads, the greater the power, and the higher the price. While Loki explains, the girl keeps staring, wondering who he is and where he came from. She says there are very few apted players who can kill two-headed wolves like that. How can his power be so great? How could he kill such a wolf alone? Loki listens calmly as they ask. Then the girl says, Chaos. You said chaos. Tell me, what is chaos? Hearing that the girl is completely baffled. She can't make sense of what he's saying.